Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And welcome back to the show. Regina Phelps joining us here live today, even on the Zoomcast. Get to see her and hear her. I'm not sure if you're on the podcast, but I get to look at her today, and it's awesome to make some eye contact face to face to know who we're talking to all this time, right? Pleasure to have you back. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing good. I actually just came off of 2 weekends back to back with 3 events in each weekend. So this is the troll person that I am today.
It's okay. Well, please, for new timers, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do. Introduce yourself.
So I'm Regina, and my company is Awen, Vera Events. I'm a wedding coordinator, event planner. So I do not just weddings, any event that you have going on, I'm happy to be a part of it. Right now, I live in Wichita, Kansas, and right now we're in a very busy fall season for weddings. Kansas is really hot, as most people know, during the summer. So end of August, all of September, October, November, it's just super busy. So I had events Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, basically like setups and teardowns. And so I may not be in an event every night, but there's going to be a teardown or a setup, and you just roll through. And I'm not at like one venue. So I'm doing a setup and teardown one place, and then I do a setup and teardown somewhere else, and I go to another. So it's been a crazy weekend. I did a teardown yesterday. So today's like my first day off.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to have you back. How can we reach out? Tell us your website.
Yes. So my website is awenveraevents.com. That's AwenVeraEvents.com.
Perfect. And what did you have in mind for us today? I mean, we've had some great conversations in the past, but since this is our first Zoom, I'm not sure where you want to start off.
I know we kind of touched base last week on a hot topic for me. I know I've talked a couple of times previously, about a Friendsgiving event that I had coming up, and I actually had that on Monday, and it was a huge success. So I am tired today, but my cup is very full. So each year I do a big vendor Friendsgiving, and I connect with it's just a huge party that a couple different sponsors here in town and I put on, and it's just a free event dinner. We did a full Thanksgiving dinner with a live band and a DJ, an open bar, and just kind of to give back to our vendor friends. Like I said, it's a very busy time of year, so it's an effort to kind of help with your burnout, even if it's just hours. So my cup's very full. Even today, I have text messages coming through of people. They're like, I had no idea how much I needed that, or I was looking forward to that for days and weeks. And so thank you so much again for doing that. So we had about 150 people at the event, which was a good turnout for us. There's definitely, I feel like we didn't even scrape the surface of how many vendors are here in Wichita, but it was just a really awesome night. We had such a good time. So I am tired, but my cup is very full for sure.
Wow. And when we talk about event planning, clearly you do it all, and just a little bit conception behind why you got involved in this. I think it's important for people to get to know you on a personal level.
Yeah, so I got involved in this, one, because I come from a big Catholic family, and so weddings are a big deal. That sacrament is a really big deal. And so growing up in a big Catholic family, my dad's one of 10 children. My mom's one of 5 children.
Wow.
My dad's Irish, Italian. Yeah. So coming from these big families that are really grounded in tradition, and, you just grew up in weddings, around weddings all the time. So, that was kind of like foundationally something that always meant something to me. And then about 2017, I had a friend that asked me if I'd help her with hers. And I really enjoyed doing it. I started helping other friends as like a wedding gift for them. As they'd go through the process of planning their wedding, I noticed that they always would complain about how stressed they were, or how it can be very stressful, and it doesn't have to be. It really doesn't. It's not for everyone. Planning an event is not for everyone. Not everybody has fun doing it. I do. I can think, like, I have 12 brides next year, and almost all of them are planning package brides. So they'll say, hey, I may have somebody text me, this was yesterday, hair and makeup suggestions, tux suggestions, and then DJ suggestions. All of those came through within maybe 5 minutes of each other. And I just text them back, here's this contact, here's this contact, here's this contact. I work with these people all the time. And so now it's a lot easier for me. But back then it was like, well, let me just help you keep the day organized, right? Like, if somebody has a problem, I'll just be the point person.
Yeah.
And have even somebody do that can be really helpful. And that's more of like day of coordination. I don't do as often anymore, but I still do offer that. And then in 2020, I launched my company after I personally was a COVID bride, and there was no help for anybody, but I'd already kind of helped my friends with their wedding. So I did have, and my sister runs her own bartending catering company. One of my best friends is a florist. So I had a really good relationship with our venue owners. So I did have more support than, a very large, vast majority of the other couples that were out there hoping to get their dream wedding. And it really pulled at my heartstrings to know that I was lucky enough to have a good support system and a supportive vendor team. But not everybody has that, So to this day, I still have pandemic packaging that's special for couples that didn't get to have that reception, or maybe never even got to get married. It's a way more discounted than my regular packaging. If there's ever anybody out there that's like, you could be 5 years down the road and be like, we never got that. We never got to celebrate with our family and friends. And that's something that you want. I want it for you too. Like, let's do it. I would say COVID was really what made me jump in all in. And I got laid off from my job. And so I was like, well, I just sitting here not doing anything. Might as well build a business. And so I did.
Well, that is pretty fascinating. My goodness. And here you are doing amazing things. What other area of focus did you have for us today about the work you're doing? I apologize. The show is a little shorter than normal today, so I want to make sure we're getting everything in.
No, you're fine. So I know some of the questions that they were asking me was kind of about childhood and mentorship growing up. And I think that's kind of where you and I had left off too. So growing up, I grew up I'm the youngest of 5 children. So not only are my parents from big families, but they continued that tradition. And in a lot of ways I have as well. I'm pregnant with baby number 4, and I have a 10-month-old. So, and when I tell people that, they're like, holy crap. Like, how did you do 6 events in 2 weeks? And I was dancing quite a bit. Anybody that was at Friendsgiving will tell you I danced my little butt off. But they're like, how do you do that and be, pregnant? And you just do it, like, life's got to be lived, and I'm here to do that. But growing up, I grew up in a really big family too. And you don't know that, when you grow up and you're in a big family, you don't know that your family's big. You may have a friend down the street, there's only 2 kids in their family, but you don't make those comparisons growing up. And my mom was honestly most of the time a stay-at-home mom. And she had part-time jobs, I would say that she probably is somebody that mentored me without knowing that, she always hosted Thanksgiving. I'm pregnant, so I'm going to try not to be emotional. She always hosted Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving for her family was always at our house. And I host that now for her family and our family. And I love that. I love hosting. I grew up with a mom who loved it. And when you make a meal for somebody and you feed that to someone and it brings them joy, it not for everyone, but for me and other people who love to cook and host, it really fills your cup up. I truly love having a full house. It brings me so much joy. And I grew up with a family that had that, as like a cornerstone of our families. Family was important, and being together was important. So my mom would work these part-time jobs, right? And it was just here and there. Like, sometimes she'd work for our church in the parish. And sometimes she'd have like a temp job where she was the secretary, and we would go on vacation every summer. And my dad would always come up to us and he would say, you really need to go thank your mom, because we wouldn't be on vacation if it wasn't for her. And as a kid, you're like, wow, wow, mom, thank you so much. But now that I'm older, I realize that was just him being real sweet, because my dad worked in the airline industry for Boeing forever. And, he was really the breadwinner, right? He was the one that was gone all the time. And so for him to be really selfless in those moments and be like, all 5 of you better go thank your mom, because if she didn't have this her side job, and she's making dinner every night and she's juggling all of our sports. And there was 11-year difference between us. So, I mean, she really was like this do it all mom. And I mean, that was my role model growing up. Right. I mean, so other people look at me and they're like, how are you pregnant right now? And you just did 6 events. And I, I look at my mom and I'm like, I think, isn't this normal? Is this not what other people are doing all the time? My mom definitely was my mentor growing up. I mean, to this day, she still juggles being a grandparent to 13 grandkids with 3 on the way, and taking care of her mom in assisted living, and doing, gosh, a million things all the time. So I think that I grew up looking at that thinking that was normal. I guess it's not. I guess other people have
Yeah.
much more confidence.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. A full plate and you keep going and going like the Energizer Bunny.
basically, yeah. I just got diagnosed with ADHD, and my therapist was like, have you ever been tested for ADHD? And I said no. And he's like, let's just run a couple tests. And he was like, yeah, you have ADHD. And I was like, so is that why I'm so like productive?
Hyper and yeah, but how do they test you for that, by the way? They don't do like blood work, do they? Is it a series of
Like,
questions or
yes, it's like all these different tests with all these different, I think there's a lot of different ways to do it. I don't think by blood though. No, but it's a bunch of different questions, and like multiple choice answers, like very often or never. And then like there's variants in between, was the test that I was given. I'm sure there's other ones out there, but he had like 2 or 3 different kinds of tests like that. And I would answer the questions, and you have to like think critically of yourself too, right? Because he's like, do you struggle with finishing a project? And defensively, I want to be like, no.
but you're like, well, I kind of do my own personal stuff, not your client
Yeah.
stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Has the storage room been a mess for 7 months? Yes. So yeah, I do have struggle with getting certain projects done. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
I know.
So, go ahead.
No, I'm sure I have it. Everyone in my family does. I have a big diagnosis with it, but I'm totally like that. Always on the go, always hyper, always trying, but still don't get stuff done that I should, but non-stop. It's like the Energizer Bunny. So I think Energizer Bunny is ADHD. I don't know if they've diagnosed him or her with that, but
They should. Yeah, they should. Yeah. Makes the bunny more relatable.
so true.
Yeah, we had to start late today. I'm so sorry that I was not on time. I apologize for that.
That's okay. And then you didn't have the link, and then it's okay.
We figured it.
We're getting through this. Oh my goodness. So how many children do you want? Or
So I thought William, my 10-month-old, was the last one. And then I got pregnant again. And my uncle was like, well, you know how that happens, kind of grumpy about it. And I said, well, your mom had 5. So I think your mom knows how that. I said, obviously, I know how that happens, Uncle Mark. But I mean, I'm like, oh, this has got to be the last one. I mean, we have a nice home, but kids like their own space. I'm like, and we won't have any more. So
that's
space.
amazing. Amazing. Oh
So
my
hopefully
goodness. Well, you said
sincerely,
your husband's one of 10?
my dad's one of
Your
10.
dad's
My
one of 10.
husband has 2, is just him and his sister. So he's very quiet. He's like we're yin and yang. We're completely opposite. He is not a social butterfly. I had that event on Monday. I'm a sponsor. Do you want to come? Do I have to? I mean, do you want me to? Is what he said. It's like, no, you don't have to come, because it's
Well,
just
was
not.
he supposed to, does he have the role of watching the kids or just something is your
Yeah,
mom? Oh, okay.
like, I mean, like he'll take that as opposed to like social interaction. He's like,
Got it.
just stay home with the kids. That's okay. I don't really want to do that. So, which
That's
I
great.
appreciate.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, what else do you have coming up here? Oh my God, the holidays are going
Yeah,
crazy.
the holidays. I've got one of my sisters is getting married this Friday. So we have a ton of family that flies in tomorrow. So literally this is like my veg day. And by veg day means I'm cleaning. And then I pick some people up at the airport tomorrow night. And then we have the wedding Friday. Family stays in town, I think, till Sunday morning. So Saturday I'll be family, 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 family. Sunday to church together, and then football all day. That's like, I mean, NFL is like our life.
Who's
So,
playing Sunday? Who's playing? I'm sorry, I don't know. For
well,
you
we're
guys,
Packer
it's
fans.
gotta
So
be. Oh, okay.
we watch the Packers. My dad's from Wisconsin, and so we watch the Packers every Sunday as a family. Um, so that will be happening on Sunday, and then that this Friday, that's my last wedding for the year. So I do have some holiday parties coming up and stuff like that, but nothing major. I'm going to start planning my parents' 50th wedding anniversary party for next year. That's coming up next year, which is super exciting. And a huge honor to be able to do. I mean, even 3 years ago, I wouldn't have thought that I would be helping my parents plan their 50th wedding anniversary as a wedding planner, event planner, and coordinator. So I'm truly honored and excited to be able to celebrate that milestone for them. So yeah, mostly just holiday parties. Things are going to finally slow down. And I say that as we're walking into holidays. So my personal life will be super busy, but that's okay. That's
Isn't
okay.
Silver Linings Playbook of the Packers fans? Is that with Bradley Cooper?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Did you ever see it? Oh my gosh.
Yes, I did.
I think it's the Pack. Aren't they is he a Packer fan?
I want to say that he is.
Okay, then that movie, you got it. Hold on. He wears the green and the white. Yeah. No, it's the Eagles. Sorry.
That's
I could
other,
scream.
we call those the East Coast Packers. That's what
Got
we
it. Okay. I was like, oh my gosh, you must love that. Okay, good. Well, unfortunately, we are out of time, and I'm so glad we got to catch up and talk ADHD, talk events, talk stress, talk weddings, talk. Yeah, I love the family Sundays, so that's great. You do church and football and all the important things. Well, my goodness. How do we wrap up for today? What did you want to leave for everyone?
Yes. So if you're interested in ever, I've said this multiple times, but if you are out there and you're planning an event and you're just teetering on maybe should I, just talk to somebody. Usually consultations are for free. I know mine are, and I'm happy to do Zooms with people or whatever. If they're not here in Kansas, I'm happy to Zoom with people. Sometimes just getting a consultation can get things a little more organized or get you a point to move forward in. Prioritizing what's important, what's not important. Like a wedding dress is more important than a DJ ring. So wedding dresses lead times are really far out. This is the furthest they've been out in years.
Got it.
So not that DJs aren't important. We love our DJs. If you are thinking about reaching out, reach out. I'm here. There's plenty of coordinators out there in the world. We love to help you. We're always doing everything we can for our clients. My information, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Awen Vera Events. My website is awenveraevents.com. That is AWENVERAEVENTS.com. And my cell phone number is 316-299-8046.
Thank you, Regina. Great to see you in person, and best of luck with everything, with the baby, with the family, we'll still talk. Are we back on next week?
We're back on next week.
Perfect. Good.
I get to spend time with you all November. So
awesome. Sounds good. We're looking forward to go get some rest. Go get that cleaning done. I get you. And there's no rest for the day. I get it. Bye-bye. Bye.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.